be creating this cute little scarecrow, boy or girl, today. So we will be using chalks. And if you notice the little scarecrow, it's almost from the perspective of him or her coming off the side of the page. So we're actually going to be drawing the scarecrow with the point of our paper this way. Okay, so we're going to draw him like this. I think that's just a lot easier than having to do everything at an angle. So we're going to draw him like this straight, so it looks like he's straight up and down, but when we have our paper the right way, it's just going to look like he's kind of cropped in the picture at an angle. So we're going to draw him out in white chalk first. That way, if you make a mistake, you can just smudge it out. Okay, so it's almost like using a pencil and eraser. All right, so make sure your little point, see if you can see this. I'm actually going to have the little point of the paper towards me. Okay, so I'm going to go up to the top of the paper here, and I'm going to draw a line straight across. We're going to do the hat. We're going to work on that hat first. All right, so I'm just going to draw a couple of lines down here. You don't want them to go too far down because we need the face. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring a line all the way across here, but I'm going to go ahead and do the brim of this hat. And I'm actually going to do like a curve up. And I'm going to go ahead and curve up here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to follow that line. So you want a brim of a hat that looks similar to this. You can go back and do all your details in the last part. All right, so now we're going to have to do that face, and we want to make sure that it's big enough. We don't want a tiny little face because the face is actually going to be the emphasis of the picture. So we're actually going to go in and do all those details last, but we want to make sure that that face is really big. So what we're going to do is, but we also have to leave room for the shoulders. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down to about here on our paper, and we're going to put a dot. Okay, so that gives me plenty of room to add a little, some little shoulders and a chest. And I'm going to come, now again, you don't want a real skinny face. We want our face not all the way to the end of the hat, but you kind of want it to go towards the end of the hat. And I'm just going to connect that, I'm going to connect these lines to this dot. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Again, we can go back and fix all that later. So, all right, so now we're going to do the little shoulders, and I'm simply just going to come off the page here. I'm going to come off of here, and I'm just going to do some little shoulders. All right, so I'm going to do some little overalls. So I think I'm just going to pull a line here, and I'm going to pull a line here as it's kind of going off the page. I'm going to come across, not all the way, and I'm going to do a couple of little parallel lines here. So you should have something that looks about like this. Again, though, I'm working with it with the pointed side toward me. Okay. And I can already see like his face is not that even, but that's okay. I'm glad I did this because I'm going to show you how we're going to fix this when we do our color blocking. All right, so now I am not going to do anything with this face right now. I'm actually going to do that last because we're going to have to do some detail in there, but I'm going to go ahead and color block the rest of the scarecrow. And because we are using this creamy colored paper, this tan creamy colored paper, we will not have to color his face. It's already about the color of a scarecrow's face because I think they use like potato sacks or something to stitch around straw to make it look like a face. So we're not gonna color block the face, but we're going to color block the rest of him. All right, so whenever I color block, I am actually taking the chalk on its side. It does not take a whole lot of this chalk, and you are going to blend. And you can even go ahead and blend that white on out. It served its purpose. We needed a guideline. Okay, so you can just blend that on out. If you want to take your sponge and clean your fingers in between colors, you may do that. And you're going to blend it all out. Alright, so I blended it all out, and this is where I actually went ahead and corrected his face. I just added another line, kind of evened it out, and I blended it out. We're just going to be going over that with black anyway, so that's perfect. Alright, so now we are going to work on the face, and we will be doing details in here, so we will be using our white, just in case we make a mistake. We can blend it out. I always like to start with the nose because that is right smack dab in the middle of the picture, and then from there I can do the eyes and the mouth. Alright, now you want his eyes to be pretty large, so I'm actually going to do a really big circle right here because I have to put three other sections inside of these eyes. So make sure that your eye is pretty large. If you notice, it's almost taking up the whole entire section. Alright, and then I'm just going to wiggle a line, a really big smile. Okay, and we will be doing stitches in the mouth. If you want to do little X's, you could do little circles on the ends of the mouth, however you want to do that. Alright, and you can do whatever color you want for the nose. I think I'm going to do red, and I'm going to go ahead and get the nose done. Again, I'm going to be tracing everything in black. I just need about a triangle here. Alright, so I found that it's easier to work with the white first and then go back with the black last. So what we're going to do is I'm going to create however you want your scarecrow to look. Maybe I want him looking up. I have some that's looking over to the side. You can have him look straight, but we're going to go ahead and add that pupil. Remember, that's going to be the black part. Alright. I'm going to go ahead, and I have found that if I go ahead and do the white, I can go back over it. Whatever color I want to make his eyes, I'll just go over that white. So I'm going to go ahead and scrub in a little bit of white, and I'm going to blend that out. You're going to have to be really careful with the eyes today. Alright, so now I'm going to get my black, and very carefully I'm just going to, now usually I have you blend. We're not going to blend the black. Okay, we are not going to blend the black. And if you notice, I kind of left a spot in there for a reflective light. You don't have to do that, but you can. And I'm just going to add a little bit of white right in that little spot. Alright, and I'm not going to mess with that. I actually need that kind of detailed in there. Alright, so now whatever color you want to make his eyes, make a section. This is the iris of the eye. Now I can go in here, and because I need detail, I'm actually using the tip of the chalk. Alright, so we're going to be tracing this in black. So first of all, I'm going to trace the entire eye, and I'm going to trace the iris. Again, I'm going to trace the entire eye, and I'm going to trace the iris. Okay. So my little scarecrow's looking up. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and trace his mouth. And I'm going to trace the entire scarecrow, everything I did in black, just to really make it pop out. I'm going to trace his face. Now I'm doing this kind of quickly, but this is, you will want to take your time on this. You're just going to really make the scarecrow pop out. Alright. So we have something that looks about like this, but we're going to add some little scarecrow hair. So you want to pick like a dark, like a shadow color and a highlight color. So I think I want to do brown, and I'm just doing these little, looks like straw. We just want it to look like straw, and then maybe I want a yellow. We need some eyebrows. Let's go ahead and curve some eyebrows on him. Alright, and we're going to add in the background, if you want to do this, we can add some lines for corn little cornfield. So maybe pick you 2 values of green. And you want these very random. Very, very random. And if you want to add some corn, you're just going to do just some little scrubs in the background. And then you're going to take your fingers and you're just going to kind of blend it up. And if you don't want to blend it, you don't. If you want it a little more detailed, the background's going to be off in the, since it's in the background, you're not going to see as much detail. So you should have something that looks about like this whenever you are done. Oops, I didn't do that part. If you want to add a flower, you can add a flower in the hat. If you want it to be a girl, you can do eyelashes on the side. So you can do a couple of details if you like. Oh, I did not trace the nose. And I'm going to add some stitches in the nose. Alright, and I think that's about it. I think I did everything. Alright, so this is what you should have. Have fun.